everyone, welcome to eKnowledge Hub. I'm Manjusha and in this video we are going to discuss the application part of pronouns. We have completed pronouns chapter and now we are going to apply what we have discussed in our pronouns chapter in the form of application. In this part we are going to face some error detection with correction of sentences. So let's begin. Look at your first sentence. One should love his country. What is the error here? Here we have two pronouns, one and his. What kind of pronoun is one? One is an indefinite pronoun and his is a possessive pronoun. And the question here is, why should one love somebody's country? That is not the correct one, isn't it? That means the error is with the pronoun his. So remember the rule now. Whenever we use the indefinite pronoun one, we must use the same indefinite pronoun one in objective case. Here we have one in subjective case. One should love. No, it's not his country. It should be one's country. There you go. Now let's see some similar examples. We should respect our country. One should respect one's parents. One should not forget what one was. One should not belittle one's country. He should look after his parents. One tries one's best. Now let's see the next one. The committee discussed the pros and cons of the argument without leaving its seats. So what is the error here? Obviously, as we are discussing the application part of pronouns, we must look at pronouns. Now here we have only one pronoun, that is its, which is in fact acting as adjective. Now let's see what is the error. What is the subject of the sentence? The committee. Is it singular or plural? One knows committee is singular because it is a collective noun. So if you remember the collective noun is a name given to a group of same kind of persons, places, animals, things taken together and treated as single entity. That means all collective nouns are singular. But in nouns we already discussed, collective nouns can also be treated plural with some exceptions. The exceptions are when the collective noun is divided, then it became two. When we are talking about the individual members of the collective noun. In the given sentence we have pros and cons, which is clear indication that it is divided because pros and cons means merits and demerits, advantages and disadvantages. So now our subject became a plural one. Hence we require a plural verb which is in the past tense, discussed. In past tense, singular, plural, both are same. But the pronoun is in singular. Now we require a plural pronoun. Hence replace its seats with their seats. Hence the right sentence is, the committee discussed the pros and cons of the argument without leaving their seats. Now let's see some similar examples. The team appealed that they must be given some license to play free shots. The family treated the relations well by putting aside their ego. The parliament decided the matter without leaving their seats. The jury, after giving the verdict, left their places and assembled in a big seminar hall. Now look at the third sentence. The chairman and managing director of Crisco Company will launch their new venture soon. Now, again, the pronoun, is it correct or not? First, let us see subject-verb agreement. The chairman and managing director is the subject. Is the subject singular or plural? The chairman and managing director. Well, it seems two different nouns connected by and. Hence, you should not always treat plural. There is a rule that goes like this. If there is only one article before two nouns connected by and, that means there is only one person. Yes, the two nouns represent only one person. If there are two different articles before two different nouns connected by and, then you got two persons. In the given sentence, we have the chairman and managing director. How many persons? The chairman and managing director. We have one person because only one article is there. The chairman and managing director. That means our subject is singular. Hence, we require a singular verb and singular pronoun. And coming to the verb indicates simple future. Will launch. It is in simple future. And now, move on to the pronoun. Here we have their new venture soon, which is a plural one, but we require singular one. Here our subject is the chairman and managing director. Hence, we replace their with his. Hence, the correct sentence is the chairman and managing director of Crisco company will launch his new venture soon. Now, let's see some similar examples. The collector and district magistrate is planning to make this district a model district. The politician and poet is no more. The politician and the poet are here. The secretary and the correspondent were counseling the students. Right, now let's see the next one. Every doctor and every nurse got their dress ready. Here we have the pronouns every and their. Every doctor and every nurse and their. Now we have two different types of pronouns. One, every, which is a distributive pronoun. Two, their, which is a possessive pronoun. So possessive pronoun is an objective case. First, let's see the subjective case. Every doctor and every nurse. We did discuss this. Distributive means one at a time. Distributive pronoun refers to a person or a thing one at a time. Hence, they always take singular verb. But we have two distributive pronouns connected by two different nouns. No problem. How many nouns you connect? How many distributive pronouns you connect? Remember, it is one at a time. Hence, we have to use a singular verb followed by a singular pronoun. Hence, every doctor and every nurse got is a verb which is in past tense. In past, singular plural is same. But the pronoun there should be replaced with his or her dress. Let's see the similar examples. Every MLA and every MP got his resignation ready. Everyone in the hamlet has cast his vote. Every member in the committee has prepared his list of things to do. Everyone in the group has participated well and left his mark behind. Now let's see the next one. Ravi, I and you have followed IPL matches. Now if you look at this sentence, we have all the three persons of English grammar. Ravi, third person. I, first person. You, second person. Now, when all the three persons are used in a single sentence, what must be the order? English grammar not only teaches you the rules, but it also teaches you the manners. Hence, the usage has an order for different situations. Case 1. If you are referring to all singular pronouns and the situation is positive, you should not take the credit first. You cannot say I. You have to give credit to the second person who is there with you. You and the third person. He, and then you must take the credit. The last. And I. So the order should be you, Ravi, and I have watched IPL matches. Okay, that is case 1 and we got the correct sentence. Now moving on to case 2, when all the three persons are in singular and we are referring to something negative, the situation is negative, you should not pass the buck. You should not blame others. You should take the blame first. Yes, when the situation is negative, something bad happened, you should not blame others. You should take the blame first. Hence, the order must be first person and who is there with you, second person and then third person. So the order must be first person, second person and third person when all the three persons are in singular and the case is negative. For example, I, you and he are to be blamed for this mistake. Now let's see case number 3. In case number 3, we are going to discuss if the situation is positive or negative and all the three persons are in plural. First person plural, second person plural, third person plural. And the order must be first person, second person, third person. We, you and they achieved this success. We, you and they failed to achieve the success. Why? Because not only you, with you others also there. So you have to give importance to others. Hence the order should be first person, second person and third person. I hope it is clear, and now let's see similar examples. He and I are cousins. You, he and I have been selected for the job interview. You, Gokul and I were in the selection panel last year. You, she and I work hard to live up to the expectations of our teachers and parents. Now let's see the next sentence. No friend will come to your party but I. What is the error? We all know that the structure of the sentence is subject place, verb place, object. That means we cannot use object to case in subject, subject to case in object, isn't it? But if you look at the sentence, no friend will come to your party but I. We have I, which is a subject to case pronoun in object, which is not correct, isn't it? And another view is, look at this word but. What are the parts of speech of but? Well, if you say it is a conjunction, you are correct. However, you should also learn but can also act as preposition with the meaning of except. In the given sentence, but is used as a preposition with the meaning of except. As a conjunction, it can connect either two things which are in subject to case or in object to case. But remember, after preposition, it must be always object to case, not subject to case. Do remember that. Hence, replace I with me. No friend will come to your party but me. Look at some similar examples. There will be no one turning up for the circus but me. No one will accompany you to Geeta Mandir but Geeta. All the police personnel left for Gujarat for training but him. Everyone left the place but her. Now let's see the next sentence. He absented from the class. What is the error in this sentence? You feel it is correct, but no, it has an error. Who absented? He. Whom did he absent? Did he absent you? Did he absent me? Whom did he absent? There you go. You got it, right? So, when action done and received by the same person, we discussed we must use reflexive pronouns. Hence, the correct sentence is, he absented himself from the class. Remember, the verbs like absent, tried, acquit, apply, forget, resign, enjoy, avail, overreach, etc. If they are used reflexively, we must use reflexive pronouns. Look at these examples. He prides himself upon his patriotism. Rajesh acquitted himself brilliantly in the exams. We want to avail ourselves of the scheme. They enjoyed themselves during the train journey. Now let's see the next sentence. Prakash and myself have decided to take part in social service. What is the error? It's very clear. We can answer it very easily. Prakash and myself. Can you use myself, which is a reflexive pronoun, in the subject? No. Many people do this. Tell me about yourself. Myself so and so. No, it should not be answered so. Remember, reflexive pronouns are used only when the action reflected upon the doer, not in every case. So you cannot say myself. You have to use personal pronouns in subject to case. not reflexive pronouns. Hence, replace myself with I. Prakash and I have decided to take part in social service. Now look at similar examples. Rana and I went to the exhibition. He and I would meet the boss. Kirtana and Kirti are acrobats. Sita and Geeta are acquaintances. Now let's see the next sentence. Either of the two roads lead to Bengaluru. So what is the error? Here we have the pronoun either, which is a distributive pronoun. Either represents one of two, right? So distributive pronouns must be always followed by singular verbs. Hence, replace lead with leads. Remember, if you add yes to a verb, verb becomes singular, which must be used only with third person singular in simple present tense. Hence, the right sentence is either of the two roads leads to Bengaluru. Now look at the similar examples. Either of the choices fits the answer. Neither of the cats runs fast. Each of the boys gets a prize. Every one of the team receives a medallion. Now look at the next sentence. The scientist which received the honorary award delivered an inspiring message. What is the error here? The error is with the relative pronouns usage. Here, who is scientist? Scientist is a person. Scientist is neither a thing nor an animal. You cannot use which is used only for things or animals. So replace which with who. The scientist who received the honorary award delivered an inspiring message. Now look at similar examples. The terrorist who was involved in a shootout was brutally killed by the public. The cobra which swallowed a sheep was stationary. This is the girl whose dance is good. The house that you saw is a historical landmark. This is a picture whose colors are good. Now look at the next example. The women demanded hair rights. Very simple. You can answer this. So what is the error? The women. Is the subject singular or plural? Obviously it is plural. So when the subject is plural, we require a plural verb. When verb is plural, we require a plural pronoun. Here the verb is in past tense. So in past, singular, plural, same. But the pronoun is in singular, but we require a plural one. Hence, replace her with their. The women demanded their rights. Now look at similar examples. The sons demanded their property. The women are planning to get back their deposited money. The men are worried about their business prospects. The man in dejected mood is worried about his ailing mother. Let's see the next sentence. Neither of the ways are easy to follow. What is the error? Here neither, which is a distributive pronoun. Remember the rules with distributive pronouns. Distributive pronouns always refer to one at a time. And they are always followed by singular verbs. But again, here you can see neither of the ways are is given, but we require a singular verb is. So the answer is neither of the ways is easy to follow. Now look at similar examples. Neither of the books consists of more than 100 pages. Either of the bowlers is easy to face. Neither of the flowers smells sweet. Neither of the narrations was true. Now look at the next sentence. You who loves visiting different places will never think of staying at one place. What is the error? Let me remind you. Grammar not only teaches you the rules, but it also teaches you the manners. See, in English there is a saying, give respect and take respect, not take respect and give respect, right? When you are referring to the second person, remember there is no singularity in a sentence. You should refer to the second person with respect. Hence, you is always treated a plural one when used in a sentence. To make you understand clearly, there is no tu in English. It's always tum, ah. So manners. Hence, you is always a plural one. We have to take a plural verb. You who love visiting different places will never think of staying at one place. Now look at similar examples. You who love singing songs with passion can win many prizes. She who loves singing songs with passion can win many prizes. You who crave for money will never show contentment. You who post photos on the walls of Facebook expect many likes. Now look at the next sentence. Shravani and Sriramya like one another. Isn't it odd? Right? So we discussed reciprocal pronouns, mutual exchange. We have only two reciprocal pronouns, each other, one another. Each other is for two, made for each other. One another is for more than two. Here we have only two, Shravani and Sriramya. So we have to use each other, not one another. We cannot say made for one another. It's so absurd, right? So replace one another with each other. Shravani and Sriramya like each other. Look at similar examples. Rama and Ramana blamed each other. Rama, Ramana and Ramu blamed one another. Shanmuka and Srimuki like each other. Dhanunjay and his friends teased one another. The 6 sisters cheated one another. Now look at the next sentence. She is younger than I. What is the era? Again, it talks about subject to case and object to case. See, than is a conjunction which connects two things which are in subject to case or object to case. But guys, here there are some rules we must learn. There are some exceptions in English. In fact, there are many exceptions in English, but here you have to learn about one exception regarding this. That is, there are some cases where we can use subject to case pronoun after the verb. Generally, before verb it is subject, after verb it is object. But there are some cases where we can use subject to case after the verb too. Case number 1. Incomplete predicament. You know the subject predicate story which we already learned in basics. If you haven't, please go through the basics. The thing is, if the predicate is incomplete, then after predicate we can use subject to case. For example, look at it. It is what? Is it giving any complete sense? It is the subject. Is the predicate, the verb part and the rest. Predicate. It's incomplete. So we can say it is he, not him, and then we can continue. For example, look at this. It is he whom we are looking for. It is she who has taken the gadget. It is she who badmouthed her friend. Alright, now coming back to our sentence, she is, again the verb indicates incompleteness. Predicate is incomplete. She is subject. Is what? Anger. It's not giving complete sense. So we require to use subject to case pronoun if at all pronoun is there. But do we have pronoun? No. After the verb is, what is there? Anger, which is an adjective. Now the rule is that after the verbs with incomplete predication, when they are followed by adjectives, we must use object to case pronoun, not subject to case. Hence the right sentence is she's younger than me. However, you can also say it like this. She's younger than I am, which becomes a clause. I am. That's also correct. Now look at similar examples. Lata is taller than me. I did not say that you're smarter than I am. You're busier than me. Kranti is lovelier than Haripriya. Now let's see the next sentence. He bathed himself in a river. You feel it is correct? No. See, I told reflexive pronouns must be used only when the action is reflected upon the doer himself or herself, right? Who bathed? He. Whom did he bathe? Obviously, no one bathes others, right? So, No, do not use reflexive pronouns unnecessarily. It looks so awkward to use reflexive pronouns. Especially, do not use reflexive pronouns with the following verbs. They are bathe, feed, form, keep, lengthen, steal, break, burst, gather, hide, open, qualify, roll, enroll, stop, turn, etc. So the correct sentence is, he bathed in a river. Now look at similar examples. I opened the lock of the door with the secret key. You cannot say I opened myself. She burst into laughter. She did not qualify for the final test. Did you steal it from your owner? I have to keep it in a dry place. Right guys, now let's see the next sentence. The officer as well as the clerks absented themselves from the office. What is the error? Themselves reflexive pronoun, absented, so we can use that is alright, but here there is a rule that we must learn. If two nouns are connected by the following conjunctions like with, together with, along with, including, as well as, except, in addition to, etc., the second noun should be considered as the additional information. Hence, only the first noun is taken as subject only when the two nouns are connected by those conjunctions. Now, what is the first noun? The officer. Is it singular or plural? Singular. Hence, the verb in the pronoun must be singular. The verb is in past tense absented. Hence, we can replace the pronoun themselves with himself. The officer as well as the clerks absented from the office. Now look at similar examples. The minister along with his party colleagues has been given a warm reception at his native place. All the people living in the house, including the servant, received their Aadhaar cards. All the players except Shyam are going to their hometowns. My father, along with his friends, attends the seminar. Now look at the next sentence. That what cannot be cured must be endured. You might immediately point out to that what and you might correct it like that which. That's also correct. But let me ask you, what is what? I mean, what is what? I didn't ask what kind of pronoun. It's of course an interrogative pronoun. But my question is, what is what? Yeah, I'm asking the meaning of what. What means that which. That means literally, that what means that which. Which is like, no, that is a redundant. So remove that simply and make the sentence concise. What cannot be cured must be endured. Now look at similar examples. What cannot be broken can be mended. What cannot be spoken may be written on a sheet of paper. What cannot be shown on the screen should be narrated. What cannot be cured must be prevented. Now let's see the next sentence. Please tell me more about you. What is the error here? Who has to say? You. About whom? Yourself. So that's the answer. So please tell me about yourself. Action done and received by the same person. Look at similar examples. She told me about herself. Sneha and Banu narrated about themselves. Aarti has been telling about herself for 30 minutes. Tell me about yourself. Now let's see the next sentence. The earth goes round the sun in 365 days. Can you calculate her speed? What is the error? The earth is a non-living being and it comes under neuter gender. So we cannot use he, she, her or his. So you have to use the neutral pronoun it or its. The right sentence is, can you calculate its speed? Remember, we give gender to non-living beings only when we personify. When we do not personify, we do not give any gender. Look at similar examples. Death is common to all. Nature can mesmerize anyone. It is admired by all. The sun is seen in the east now, but in the evening, it sets in the west. The river that flows to the west is a major one in India. Now let's see the next sentence. The earth treats us as its children, not strangers. Now it's very clear that the sentence is personified. A non-living being cannot treat nor has children. But here the sentence indicates treating and having children. So it is personified. When personified, earth comes under which gender? It's feminine, right? So replace his with her. To know more about personification, do watch the personification video. Now look at similar example. The ship lost her way. The sun, with his brilliance, shone bright in the sky. The moon hid herself behind the clouds. Death has taken away my brother and his chariot. Now let's see the next sentence. Let she do it. What? Can we use a subjective case pronoun after let? No. We always say let us, let him, let her. Why not subjective case, let she? Obviously the answer is let her do it. But my question is why? Why we required to use objective pronoun after let? It's simple, because let is a verb and we have already discussed after verb it must be always objective case, before verb it is subjective case. Hence the right sentence is let her do it. Look at similar examples. Why are you letting him out? Let us discuss it now. Let them go to beach. Let me explain you in clear terms. Will you please let me do it? Now let's see the next sentence. Get the book and put on the table. The sentence seems correct, but no, not entirely and grammatically. In grammar, we must observe all the rules. Get the book, alright? And put on the table. What? Put what? There is no object, right? In the former clause, we have an object, get the book. But in the later clause, put on the table, what? We require the object. Hence, use a pronoun. Get the book and put it on the table. Now look at similar examples. Take the remote and keep it in the cupboard. Take the paste and throw it in the dustbin. Take off the shoes and keep them on the food stand. Take this ring and lend it to me when I ask. Now let's see the next sentence. I saw myself him stabbing his wife, said the eyewitness to the judge. It is not correct logically and grammatically. I saw myself. If he sees himself or if he saw himself, how can he become eyewitness? So, what is the correct? What we must do in order to make the sentence correct? If you think just drop that reflexive pronoun, to some extent it is correct, but he is an eyewitness. That means he is emphasizing something. Hence, make the reflexive pronoun an emphatic pronoun. I myself saw him stabbing his wife, said the eyewitness to the judge. No one told me, no one showed me. I myself saw him. Here we must use emphatic pronoun, not reflexive pronoun. Now look at similar examples. The child man himself drove the car. She herself smashed all the potatoes. He himself backed out of the agreement. The PM himself is present at the airport. Now let's see the next sentence. I and he have gone to library. So what is the error? The error is with the order of pronouns. It should be he and I have gone to library, which I already explained you. Now look at some similar examples. You and I are friends. You, he and I must complete this task. She and I were at the party last night. He and I have helped that poor man. We and they are going to shopping. Now let's see the next sentence. Him and me have already reached home. Come on, is it correct? No. What should be the correct one? Him and me. Can you use objective case pronouns in subjective case? No. So the correction is he and I have reached the home. Look at similar examples. My friend and I played charades. I invited him and her to dinner. Let us plan for a picnic. Let me help you. Now let's see the next sentence. This must be between you and I. What is the error? Remember, after preposition, it must be always object to case. Between is a preposition, hence remember to use object to case after between. Hence the correct sentence is, this must be between you and me. Look at similar examples. Something is going on between you and him. There is nothing between you and me. It is a bit boring between you and me. Keep this secret only between you and me. Now let's see the next sentence. In spite of he struggling with life, he achieved success. What is the error? There is a thumb rule. The rule is, if there is a gerund in a sentence and the gerund is preceded by a noun or a pronoun, remember that noun or a pronoun must be in possessive case. In the given sentence, we have a gerund that is struggling. And before struggling, what do we have? The precedent of struggling is he, which is a pronoun. Hence, we must use a possessive pronoun. The correct sentence is, in spite of his struggling with life, he achieved success. Now let's see similar examples. I didn't appreciate his returning the car with the gas empty. His coming to my birthday party was a nice surprise. I'm excited about Kiran's winning the tournament. She didn't like his standing in front of her. Now let's see the next sentence. She applied for maternity leave. What is the error? It seems the sentence is absolutely correct, but no. I have given you a list of verbs for this kind of questions. Here, apply is a verb when used reflexively must be followed by a reflexive pronoun. Hence, she applied herself for maternity leave. Look at similar examples. We availed ourselves of the opportunity. He resigned himself from the job. They enjoyed themselves during the vacation. She applied herself for college. Now let's see the next sentence. Either of the two boys are present today. What is the error? Either, which is a distributive pronoun, is always followed by singular verb. Hence, either of the two boys is present today. Look at similar examples. Any of his 5 friends will come to his rescue. Either of the 2 cousins takes up his father's business. None of the dresses suited her choice. Neither of the 2 books is available here. Now let's see the last sentence. The standard of the students are not up to the mark. Many people feel it is correct, but no. What is the subject of the sentence? No, it is not students. It is the standard, which is an uncountable noun. So all uncountable nouns are singular. Hence, we require to use singular verb. The standard of the students is not up to the mark. Now let's see similar examples. The quality of the food is poor. The pollution in the cities is more than that of villages. The furniture of the house looks elegant. The news is fake and must not be circulated. Right guys, that's all about our application on pronouns. I hope you enjoyed learning the rules and how to apply them and how to find the error and correct the same. And I'll be seeing you in the next video with a new chapter. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and if you already subscribed, do share the videos with your kith and kin and keep supporting. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, have a nice time.